There was one cat that carefully stalked very slowly through the grass up to the entrance of that burrow there, put one paw inside the burrow entrance very stealthily, and then suddenly the penguin who was inside attacked the paw that was in there. But that's something we hadn't really expected, I don't think. And so if there'd been chicks unattended in the nest, that probably would have been a different outcome.
Kororā they're pretty classic penguin. They are really quite little, so they're about this high.
When I was young, I was taught to be scared of them.
And they bite hard.
There's some very feisty creatures around here.
So I reckon that the movie Angry Birds, or the game Angry Birds, was a direct result of someone dealing with the kororā.
Well, they have small bird syndrome.
I love them. I love them so much.
Yeah, they're not really to be underestimated. They're pretty feisty little critters.
My name's Michelle Bird. I work with Ngā Motu Marine Reserve Society, and I am the project coordinator. As for expertise, I am learning as I go.
My name's Anne-Marie Mackay. I'm the environmental officer at Ngāti Mutunga iwi office. I've been in my job for 2 years now, but just started working with Kororā when I was approached by the Ngā Motu Marine Reserve Society. Didn't know a great deal about Kororā, but sort of grew up around this area, so they were always around.
For us, it was really important to have the iwi involved in this project before we even started. So even before we put in the applications, we talked to Anne-Marie and Ngāti Te Whiti, and both were really interested. So that's why we pursued it, because it's all of our environments, and they have more skills in many of these areas, so we can learn from each other. That's really key for me, is I want to learn from you. So can you...
I've been learning heaps from you. I feel like it's a bit one-sided.
I'm feeling the same way. So until you know what you're doing yourself, it's not very easy to bring other people in. So last year was all about cementing the core group, which is, I think, done.
It's a bit easier when you're in iwi based because you just drag your whānau along. And that's what we've kind of been doing. But they like it though. But, you know, it's anything to bring our people home and get them connected to their land and their whenua.
The great thing about this project is we have so many different people working on it. One of the great ones is Elise. So her background, she does mapping and all sorts of stuff, but she's set up all of the electronic monitoring of one of our colonies, and she's watched hundreds of hours of penguin videos.
Any little milestone that happens with any kororā, she'll send it off to everybody and say, oh look, and she'll know which kororā it is straight away and say, this kororā's done this tonight, and just be so excited for them. Yeah, like she's part of the colony now.
Oh, these penguins are definitely, they are better than a sitcom. I really wanted to know much more about their secret lives. So this is a Gallagher microchip reader, and when you scan the bird, it gives you the ID number. He's going out. He's going out the door. Uh-oh.
So when they're molting, they can't swim, so that's when they're at their most vulnerable, because they're basically stuck in here.
And so then we will be able to put it into the phone.
16977. We'll search for that, and it brings up. Okay, it's a female. You're right. My name's Barbara Hammonds, and what's my role in this project? I guess just helping with the monitoring, helping with catching the penguins. So I've got the level 1 bird handling certificate, which means I'm allowed to catch penguins and hold them.
Put my foot in the front here. Oh, sugar, sorry.
That's Mari.
It's Mari. Oh, she's the mother of the penguin family we've been taking family history of. I've got a level 2, so I'm allowed to microchip penguins, and I do a lot of the electronic monitoring. So I've spent a lot of time staring at the computer screen, but that's fun because we've got really good results.
That's empty too.
Empty. Oh, someone's been molting in here though. Oh, look.
Well, they have, haven't they?
They've molted.
Yep. Very cross. That was always a grumpy one, wasn't it?
That's 19 and it's 40087. Probably the male.
No, that's female.
It's a female. Oh, they're both grumpy.
Sorry, you. Oh, sorry.
That's good.
Okay. Thank you. She wasn't happy.
The one I have particular admiration for is the female in nest number 14. She and her partner had 2 chicks hatch, and then he disappeared. He has not come back. So there she is, solo mum, left with 2 babies, and she had to go and find food for them. There's an interfering neighbour next door. He's a real horror, and he chases everyone. The marauderer, we called him. He was forever sticking his beak into other people's business and going into other people's burrows and chasing them around vigorously. And he even chased the poor little chicks in nest number 14. They took a lot longer to fledge than the other nests. So it's a long story, but we captured it on video. So it really is, it is a secret life, and it happens at night. And now we've got some tools to help us.
We work hard to get people more aware of penguins. The technology is fantastic to enable the ordinary public to get involved. Like the burrow cam. You could give them the link and you could tell your granny in the South Island to turn it on, and people would stay up quite late at night watching what the penguin was doing in that particular burrow. I think technology has enabled us to know more about them, and hopefully it might help us to make sure they're not so endangered. The most immediate and serious risk really is dog attack. Their scent is really strong, and so a dog can smell a penguin really easily and grab it and shake it, and that's it.
If a cat or a dog can reach them, they're stuffed pretty much.
Human interference is a problem, and we are worried about that because people do like penguins.
If you had 50 people down here at night, all looking at the kororā and shining their lights at them, and you know, if they've got chicks, they won't come back to feed their chicks.
Even if it's something that you don't feel is dramatic or violent as an impact on the wildlife, actually, if we're all doing it, it's that little, drop in the bucket.
You know, from the little bit we found out, they go miles to get food. So all that sort of netting and fishing and loss of food, all that sort of stuff impacts on, and it's all people.
We know that they are affected by climate change. We know that their food sources are probably going away. They're visual eaters when they go out to sea, so every time you have a huge storm event, how much is that affecting your birds? We know that they have predators on land, so if the populations are they decreasing because of what's happening on land, or are they decreasing because of what's going off at sea?
We can actually compare how well our penguin populations are doing here because we have comparative data from previous years and from other communities around the country. And then we can translate that data into stories. We're always advocating for marine protection because it's a space that people don't often have the opportunity to connect with and to actively, physically explore, to actually make that connection, see what lives under there, see that there are living animals under there, and then understand that they have a part to play in protecting those animals.
I know that I'm driven by the feelings of connection I have with the natural world, and I know these guys are too, and it's actually one of the reasons I like hanging out with them is that I feel like I'm with my people.
So it's really important for us to be involved in the te taio space and to be monitoring what's going on and basically just looking after our environment, because our environment's us.
We are key stone species, we change our environment, and the way we change our environment is going to impact the whole ecosystem, our food sources, our well-being, our health. The more people get involved in these programs and we get funding to run these programs, the better our society is, because people understand that they do have an impact, that they do matter, and that they do play a role in protecting what lives under the ocean. Special species like Kororā rely on us to help protect them and to help their populations thrive.